Good morning. This is another launching of another Stuart Boatworks 26. This again is a fish boat design with the coffin box forward as opposed to forward seating. This boat's on its way to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where it'll be towed behind a large Bertram. To begin with, we have our top mounted anchor locker like normal. In this particular case, the customer opted, because he goes to the Bahamas a lot, to have it arranged to handle 2 anchors. You can see the one forward fortress anchor now. Of course, he's going to fish this as well as his big boat. So with the coffin box, he's got multiple rod holders along the gunnels, I think 8 down each side. The coffin box mounted with a cushion. The functionality of this is pretty cool. Somebody wants to lay down, obviously they can lay down, but you're not giving up all the creature comforts when you go to this from the forward seating design, because people actually sit here on the front seat with their feet up as you're running, so that makes for a pretty neat arrangement. I've also seen women laying here with their feet over on the console front cushion, so it's kind of a multifunctional arrangement, but still allowing you a very hardcore application for fishing. This, of course, is driven by the electric ram on the dash that raises it. I'll go do that now. You can see on our website a picture of me down inside this fish box. I'm 5'8", about 155 pounds, and I can fit in there easily. That again is heavily insulated. It has 1 inch of foam around the cord fish box to begin with, and then glassed over that foam. So heavy insulation below. The frigid rigid, of course, I would probably typically leave my ice here and transfer it below as you catch fish and stow fish below. But it could be used either way you want it. Moving forward to the front of the console, this is our standard console. So we have just storage below here. This would possibly be a place if you wanted to put on a carry-on cooler and soft-sided to drop in addition to any other storage, of course. Nicely finished hatches, nice gaskets, all fits nice, very simplistic. As we mentioned in every one of this, all of these videos, all of our consoles have tow kick built into them. He chose the Key West hardtop. Again, the purpose in going with this hardtop is that you can get the vertical rod holders on the side of the console, 4 on each side, so that the rod tips can come up and not interfere with the hardtop itself. We could also go with a full-size, full-width hardtop in this application and just have a slot in the hardtop for the rod tips. So that's another option if you were to choose that. We're about ready to build a boat in that manner. So as we come aft here, in this case, this customer opted for Ray Marine electronics. So he has complete duplication, complete sounder chart plotter here as well as here. Fusion stereo, ICOM VHF. Of course, our Lenco trim tabs, which are recessed and standard on the boat. Drink holders, Ritchie compass. Multiple switch Blue Seas panel. Access to the back side of the console. Lift out door. For just the time being, we just stowed the life jackets in here. Of course, they could be stored in a number of different places. You know, high quality wiring, my dirty sneakers, everything's in there. Then we get to our leaning post live well, which you've seen before in other videos. Storage here below the cushion. Both sides have tackle boxes with pull-out Plano trays. Fold-down footrests and access here that folds out for access to just the plumbing and a little bit of storage inside, not an excessive amount. Integrated backrest, 4 rod holders, 2 drink holders, 40-gallon live well. Again, you've seen this on previous videos. This is the optional second fish box, and yes, this customer opted for that. Again, it's insulated, it's cored, then insulated, then glassed over the insulation. And so he opted for the second diaphragm pump to drain this fish box as well. Day fishing, schoolie dolphin, bottom fish, this is more than adequate than getting the large box forward dirty if you don't land a fish of that size that necessitates that forward box. Fits like it should, nice and tight. Access to the rigging now on this particular boat. Oh, we got a dirty track there, sorry about that, but on this particular boat there's a shelf for his oil tanks. We get together with the customer and lay out the bilge exactly the way he wants it, exactly where he wants everything. So we built a shelf for this application. Again, fits great. Real clean cockpit, which you're familiar with seeing if you've seen our other videos. He opted for saltwater washdown under the starboard side, freshwater washdown under the port side. Full transom, so for leaning here, whether it's kids or adults, it actually functions like an inboard boat. So you don't have any concern about falling into an open bilge area, for example, as a potential problem. And in this case, it's our standard boat, so you don't have a transom door to contend with either, which might or might not be a problem, depending on how you boat and how you're going to use your boat. On the transom here, he's gone with our standard Garrelec telescopic sport ladder. It just flips over and the legs slide out. It's good for diving. You can walk up with it with fins if you'd like, but that's it's an option, but that's the standard ladder we would put on if you elect the option to have a ladder. The motors, he opted for 225 E-Techs. This guy's been a long time E-Tech owner, and the performance is truly outstanding. I didn't bring the specs with me, but again, it'll run on one motor, as this boat does with a single 150 as a pair of 150 twins. We've talked about that before on previous videos. This boat will run also on one motor. This boat, wide open, is right at about 50 miles per hour, which is, again, for our bottom design, that's getting a lot of performance out of this rounded bilge boat that is pretty much in the water. A lot of wetted surface, well forward to keep that roundness and softness of ride in the water, but yet still good performance. At cruise, the boat was cruising right in the 35-36 mile an hour range. So that's pretty much it. It's another fish boat. It's another customer's dream boat, exactly the way he wanted it. Ice blue hull, white bottom, ice blue on the underside of the custom hardtop. The electronics he wanted, the motors he wanted, the bilge the way he wanted it. I think he's going to be, very pleased with this boat. And if you like it, let us build one for you.